Hi guys, welcome. In this video, I'll be sharing the stock analysis for Pinterest and as usual answer these three questions. Is Pinterest worth investing in? Is it a buy or a sell at the current price? And is Pinterest trending up or down based on the technical charts? And thanks to Adrian who asked for a stock analysis on Pinterest. Pinterest is in the online advertising business. They make money when companies place advertisements on their social platform, similar to what Facebook does. The difference is in the social approach that Pinterest has taken. Let's say you are browsing the internet for brand new sports glasses and you see these cool looking glasses. You could save the picture of the glasses to Pinterest for your reference as you shortlist your options. This is called pinning. And other users will also see your pins and they might click on it if they are also on the lookout for some sports glasses. Another example is, let's say you are planning for a holiday. You could organize your holiday ideas using Pinterest and share it with your travel buddies. Companies that sell these products could place an advertisement on Pinterest and it will appear as an image amongst the pinned pictures. Pinterest calls it visual discovery, and I think it is a cool idea. However, it is not a unique idea. Google too has a similar visual discovery interface, and it will not take them too long to develop an experience similar like Pinterest. With that, let's dive right into the financials and see whether Pinterest is worth investing in. I'll be using the quarterly reports in this stock analysis video. The revenue has been largely flat for the past few quarters at around $270 million per quarter. Pinterest business is seasonal and their income spikes during the holiday season. Here you can see there was a spike in revenue in Q4 of 2019 to $400 million and similarly in Q4 of 2018. There was a general rise in revenue in 2019, but that trend has disappeared in 2020. The gross profit is on a decline for the past two quarters at 172 million and 164 million. The gross margin has been hovering around 60%. That is quite a high margin and is a good sign. Pinterest is not a profitable company and has been running losses. They are not able to convert that high gross margin into profits. Their losses amounted to about $100 million in the last quarter. There was a massive loss of almost $1.2 billion recorded in Q2 of 2019. I was curious to find out what happened here. After digging a bit deeper into the financials, it appears that Pinterest recorded $1.1 billion in stock-based compensation right after the IPO. Pinterest made about $1.6 billion in its IPO in Q2 of 2019. That same quarter, they recorded $1.1 billion in stock-based compensation. So essentially, the owners awarded themselves the number of shares equivalent to 68% of the IPO income. I would not invest in Pinterest. It's hard to trust such management practices, and more so given the fact they have been running losses all along. The net margin is at negative 37% for the most recent quarter and negative 52% in the previous quarter. Pinterest has been investing heavily in research and development at between 167 million and 136 million in the last 4 quarters. But the trend is on the way down, and the sales and marketing is also on the way down from 110 million in Q3 of 2019 to 86 million in the most recent quarter. It is not characteristic of a growing company. The revenue is flat and the investment in R&D and sales and marketing is on the way down. So how does the company intend to grow its market share? I must say I'm quite disappointed with these numbers. I don't see Pinterest turning in a profit anytime soon. By the way, if you're wondering what is this big spike in Q2 of 2019, well, you guessed it. It was due to stock-based compensation. According to the accounting rules, the stock-based compensation needs to be allocated to existing items such as R&D and sales and marketing. On a per share basis, the losses per share is at 17 cents for this quarter. The earnings per share have been in the negative region all along. That gives an annual loss per share of $1.56. Pinterest made money from operations during the seasonal year-end holidays, and I believe they recorded the positive cash flow from operations in Q1 due to the seasonal revenue obtained in Q4. And in Q2, they have gone back to the losses. Pinterest has invested in marketable securities, and the trend is shifting from investing towards selling as the investments mature. It has resulted in a trend of growing cash flow from operations, but we'll see shortly whether this has resulted in overall positive cash flow. There is a constant net cash outflow from financing activities, except for that one-time IPO activity. This is due to taxes paid for share settlement. Companies are required to withhold this amount as part of the exercise employees' stock options plan to cover for the tax payment. This amount is paid to the tax authority and recorded as a cash outflow in the cash flow statement. The good thing is, this amount has been reducing quarter to quarter and stands at just 12.7 million this past quarter. This is the only positive chart I can see for Pinterest. Pinterest has been experiencing overall negative cash flow in 2019, but has turned positive for the last 2 quarters. The net cash flow was 91 million in Q1 of 2020 and 121 million in Q2. Pinterest was sitting on a huge pile of cash of $1.4 billion in Q3 of 2019 due to its IPO. This amount has reduced to 890 million in the last quarter. The strength of the cash position is evident from the quick ratio that is trending lower. It has dropped from 10.1 in 2019 to around 5.2 in the most recent quarter. Minimally, a quick ratio of 1 is preferred. The quick ratio measures the ability of the company to service its short-term financial obligations that need to be serviced within the next 12 months. Pinterest quick ratio is very good at 518. Pinterest has a strong balance sheet and no debt, but the assets are on a general trend of decline. The book value per share is 325 currently. The book value measures the net asset value, which is total assets minus the total liabilities on a per share basis. At the current price of $34, Pinterest is trading at a multiple of 10.6 price to book. Let's take a look at the technical analysis. Pinterest has broken out of the downtrending channel and the price has since accelerated. The volume is quite good at around 17 million shares traded per day. The price seems to have hit the overhead resistance at $37. Pinterest has been trying to break above this level 3 times and has failed. This level is now the key to further price appreciation. I am also wary of these gaps. The last time Pinterest gapped up at this same level, it met the resistance at $37 and the price came tumbling down. The same pattern seems to be playing out here. If you are currently invested in Pinterest, maybe it's better to take some money off the table. But if you are not invested yet, it would be better to wait for a clear breakout above 37. So, is Pinterest worth investing? The way management exercised the stock-based compensation right after IPO has completely turned me off. Further to that, it has been losing money and I don't see a turnaround anytime soon. It has a strong balance sheet, but the assets are on the decline and the book value is heading lower as well. Is it worth it at current prices? It is overpriced at the current levels with a high price to book as well. But that is normal for tech stocks, even those that are also losing money. Now technically the trend seems to be up, but I would wait for a break above $37. Please subscribe to my channel if you have found this sharing useful and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Speaking of which, I'll be doing a video on Nvidia next. Nvidia is a solid tech stock and I'm excited and can't wait to go through the numbers. And I'll see you soon in that video.